Concrete planters will be installed to protect the storefront.
All right, let's check the forecast now.
We had that cold front that moved through last night, brought us some of those stronger showers and thunderstorms, but now we get the benefits. Some cooler air, some lower humidity, pretty nice for mid-July here in Hampton Roads. As we take a look at the radar right now, sweeping clear across eastern Virginia and North Carolina. Take you back to this morning when we still had some clouds and a few showers showing up across North Carolina. Took a few more hours for the clouds to totally burn off, but now we're looking at mostly sunny skies through much of Virginia. Still some high thin clouds down across the outer banks of North Carolina, but through the remainder of the evening, skies will continue to clear out where we still have some clouds. Very, very pleasant evening temperatures in the lower 80s. By 9 o'clock, we're down into the 70s, and later tonight, likely looking at 60s for most of us. Water temperature still pretty warm, so with that wind coming in off the water, coastal areas will likely start the day in the lower 70s. But again, a very pleasant start to the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies through the day on Thursday. Temperatures up into the mid 80s once again. Futurecast trying to bring in a chance of a shower. I think it's overdoing it substantially. We'll put those odds at less than 5% as we go through the day tomorrow. Sometimes when we pick up that northeast breeze, it tries to do that. I do think, however, as we get late into the day on Friday, there'll be a chance of a shower or two. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, and notice those winds become a little more easterly on Friday, and that's why I think there'll be a little bit of a better chance for an isolated shower or two in the afternoon with a little area of low pressure off towards the south. So the best chances for any showers on Friday would likely be across areas south of the Albemarle Sound. Otherwise, we're looking at another nice afternoon with temperatures in the low to mid 80s and mostly sunny skies across Virginia. Take you back to this morning. We still had some clouds out along the ocean front. Took a few more hours after sunrise for those clouds to start to burn off, but then we saw the mostly sunny skies, and that's what we're seeing outside right now. You can see the folks out along the ocean front this afternoon, and the live shot showing some of those high thin clouds. Otherwise mostly sunny skies. 83 degrees, winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Humidity 49%, dew point 62, so very, very comfortable out there. That'll be the case later tonight as well. 85 in Hertford, it's 87 in Newport News, 88 one of the warmer spots in Gloucester, 91 in Williamsburg, 86 in Portsmouth, 76 in Duck, and 79 in Kill Devil Hills. So later tonight, clear and mild, 71 for an overnight low, some mid-60s inland, northerly winds at 4 to 8 miles per hour. And tomorrow, 85 degrees, mostly sunny skies, very much like we saw this afternoon with northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear and comfortable tomorrow night, down to 71. And Friday, mostly sunny skies with the exception of a shower or two possible along the outer banks or south of the Albemarle Sound. 85 degrees on those easterly breezes. For Saturday, temperatures start to climb once again. We're back up to 89 degrees with a slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm. Those chances for rain go up significantly on Sunday.